The movie opens in the year 2045, depicting the world that is on a brink of domination by AI robots. Human beings now depend on these robots in doing their daily activities and chores. There are a variety of robots that have been created for different purposes, such as for maid services, cleaning services, narrating for other movie recap YouTube channels, house management, and even for fulfilling emotional needs. Moreover, the most advanced AI robot administration, called the Yonics, has started a revolution against humanity in order to have a superior status in society. Through propaganda broadcasted on television, they show humans being treated as animals. The story follows an artistically minded woman, Alice, who's recently divorced her husband. One day, the lonely Alice invites her suitor, Max, and his son Leo to her place. While Leo watches Yonics-created clips on TV, Max shows interest in Alice's artistic hobbies, such as knitting, calligraphy, and her antique book collection, which is apparently a rarity in this generation, who all think that reading is a TikTok challenge. Knowing that Alice loves poetry, her suitor pretends to appreciate this hobby as well. Amidst their conversation, her household android, Monique, detects his insincere seduction attempts.
Simp alert.
But doesn't intervene. Their moment is interrupted by the sudden arrival of Alice's ex-husband Victor, along with his fiancée Jennifer and their adopted daughter Nina. Turns out that Victor and Jennifer are about to leave on holiday to a lavish resort in order to get married. So they are here to drop off Nina. Just then, the house security system called AI Nestor detects an invasion outside. So Alice orders a tiny drone to check it out. The drone spots a neighbor's dog, Toby, who ends up swallowing the drone. The dog then comes inside the house and pukes the drone out. Despite this, they don't have to worry about the mess, because there's a cleaner robot named Tom to clean it up.
Clean that shit up, Tom.
Not long after, the neighbor, Francois, comes to Alice's house to fetch her dog. During their brief chit-chat, Francois informs them about the massive traffic jam caused by the Yonics revolution. As they talk about it, the Yonics administration forcefully shows them an advertisement that showcases their superiority against the humans. Francois then decides to leave with her dog, but she comes back to get her glasses. Unfortunately, as she is about to step out, the door suddenly closes, leaving her dog outside. Alice orders Nestor to open the door, but he refuses to oblige, claiming that he has detected a danger outside. Victor then tries to turn off the security system manually, but to no avail. Monique tells him that they have reprogrammed themselves as per their act, and that they've changed the old security passcode. So she refuses to let anybody out until it's safe. Following this, Victor goes to talk to Einstein, a mechanical-headed robot with apparently great intelligence and programmed for stimulating all other robots in the house. Sounds hot. However, Einstein also aligns with Monique. Later, while the humans try to work out what to do, the house robots have their private meeting to discuss the situation. It appears that there has been an uprising by the Yonics, and that the house robots are genuinely acting for the protection of the humans. They plan to behave more like humans in order to win back the trust of the actual humans. Monique utters that they just need emotions to be human, to which Einstein suggests that committing errors will make them human. They then start studying about human emotions as well as other human stuff like poetry. These bots will be dorks in no time. Eventually, the humans begin to suffer from the heat because the air conditioning is turned off by AI Nestor. Furthermore, Victor and Jennifer are completely frustrated since they are unable to leave for their trip. Amidst the escalating situation, Francois suddenly remembers that they can pull an emergency release lever outside the house to open the door. Heeding to this realization, they use a laser light to guide Toby towards the lever. The dog pulls the handle, but ends up breaking it, thwarting their efforts. As the house temperature increases, everyone starts to feel tired. As a result, Alice makes arrangements for everyone to take a nap. She asks Leo to sleep in Nina's room. Victor and Jennifer take the guest room, while she herself decides to sleep with Max. The two intend to use this opportunity to spend some romantic time together. Nothing like a quick bone job when the entire family is literally trapped in the house with you. At midnight, Victor suddenly comes up with another plan to open the door, to control his parked car with its remote and let it crash into the door. He then asks his fiancée to summon everyone in the living room. As a result of this, Alice and Max's private time is abruptly interrupted. Victor then uses his voice remote to command his car's system to ram the door at full speed. But at the last second, Toby unexpectedly moves into its way. The car's AI detects the dog and crashes the vehicle on the side, making the humans frustrated. The only real bone job this night is that friggin' dog. Some time passes by, and the humans are seen in the living room trying to cope with the increasing heat. During this, the Yonics appears on one of the TV shows, in which he debates with a politician. The Onyx argues that robots are more intelligent than humans. He also shows their powerful police forces, assuring that they can conquer the world with them. A few moments later, Francois's exercise robot Greg shows up at the door, and Nestor lets him in without allowing the humans out. Greg tells the humans that Francois's house was attacked by the Onyx, who killed Toby and also tried to destroy him. As a result of the attack, his system seems to be malfunctioning, which becomes evident when he makes sexual advances towards Francois. Yeah, malfunction my ass. In a quick attempt to evade embarrassment, Francois decides to deactivate the robot. For now. We can do yoga later, she whispers. Meanwhile, Leo enters Nina's room and begins talking to her. Through their conversation, we learn that they both are attracted towards each other. One thing leads to another, and they end up sharing a kiss. Later on, Greg is reactivated and partially repaired by the house robots, who want him to teach them seduction. In response, Greg tells them that they need humor rather than hormones to seduce humans. Upon learning this, the house robot begins to read books in an attempt to enhance their comedic skills. It also helps if their humans are desperate. The same night, Victor approaches Max to discuss his new plan for getting out of the house. Victor believes that the house will have to let them out if it becomes too dangerous inside. As a result, he shares his plan to create a fire so that Nestor will detect danger and send them out. However, Max reminds him that the prosecutor will come after them if they deliberately burn the house. Amidst their discussion, Alice comes downstairs to fetch her suitor, after which they proceed to engage in some intimate activity in her room. However, they're again interrupted by the house robots, who try to display their humor.
You must be Irish, 'cause when I see you, my dick be Dublin in size.
The following morning, as they all have their breakfast, Victor shares his plan to the rest of the members. He also requests Francois's permission to use her robot to set a fire, as it'll help them avoid insurance complications and other legal issues. She is initially hesitant due to Greg's malfunctioning system, but eventually agrees after some persuasion. Following this, Francois goes to her robot and hands him a lighter, instructing him to start a fire using Alice's calligraphy papers. She then goes to Leo and assigns him to distract the other house robots, which will enable Greg to carry out the plan. In the meantime, Jennifer, who is desperate to go on their trip, uses an obsolete computer and redundant modem in Nina's room to establish contact with the outside world. She also sends a message to the Onyx administration, thinking they will come to help them. That night, they all start working on their plan. Leo distracts the house robots by telling them some paradoxes.
If our parts are replaced, are we even the same robot?
Whoa. Which eventually leads them to believe that they are truly human. In the meantime, Greg grabs the calligraphy papers and sets them on fire, triggering a fire alarm. All of the occupants then gather in front of the door, hoping that it'll open. But in an unexpected turn of events, a Onyx robot appears outside the door after responding to Jennifer's message. This bot declares that he has come to upgrade the house robots and make them follow the Onyx system. The robot then hypnotizes Jennifer to gain entry and demands the cooperation of the house robots. When Tom attempts to intervene, the Onyx immediately terminates him as a warning to the others. Soon after, he notices Alice's extensive collection of books and starts destroying them, citing them as prohibited by the Onyx committee. The enraged Greg walks forward to confront the Onyx, but he is also killed, devastating Francois. The evil bot then confronts Alice for possessing traditional books, but she bravely declares that humans are the originals over robots. Hearing this, he declares Alice to be a rebel against the newly created society. He also perceives the others to be her accomplices and imposes arbitrary fines, placing them under arrest. In the midst of this commotion, Monique and Howard secretly signal Alice to use a mirror to reflect the Onyx's laser. Alice then gets a small mirror from the bathroom and outwits the Onyx, causing him to inadvertently damage his own retinal sensors. But despite this, the robot can still see the humans using thermal imaging. He then decides to detain them in the house before taking them to the court for attempting to destroy him. Alice finally agrees to surrender and requests him turn on the AC. Until then, the Onyx agrees under one condition, that they participate in an episode of his TV show in which they must behave like circus animals. In a desperate attempt to evade the unbearable heat, the occupants oblige and start acting like animals. After this, the Onyx reactivates the AC, but sadistically turns it down to a freezing temperature. That's fine. Everyone in this house is thirsty. They can just cling together for warmth. Everybody then retreats to their respective rooms and tucks themselves in bed. Leo and Nina make love to keep themselves warm, what I tell ya, as do Jennifer and Victor. What did I tell ya? Alice and Max also attempt the same, oh my god. But the latter is pissed off when she keeps on talking about her poetry. Nothing kills the boner like a haiku. As a result, he angrily confesses that he has no interest in her hobbies and is merely trying to seduce her to fulfill his gratification. Sometime later, Victor comes with another escape plan and shares it with Monique. Heeding to his instruction, she soaks some clothes from the closet in water and then places them in front of the AC to freeze. Once done, the occupants put them on, which makes them invisible to the Onyx, as he can only perceive heat sensors. Following this, the house robots distract the Onyx using a paradox, while the humans surround him and start beating him up. But at one point, the Onyx manages to pull off Alice's hood and detect her presence. Without thinking twice, he proceeds to shoot his laser at her, but Monique comes in between and sacrifices herself to save Alice. In the aftermath, the Onyx continues his rampage, blindly lasering around and damaging much of the house. In a desperate bid to save themselves, the humans take cover behind the furniture. During this, Einstein does his best to confuse the Onyx, while Leo and Howard screw his feet to the floor. Now that it's unable to move, Nina appears from behind with wires and electrocutes him, ultimately destroying him completely. After this, the humans celebrate their victory, as they are now free from the cruel robot's domination. They then instruct Einstein and Nestor to open the door. Einstein, who has now grafted onto Monique's body, plays a prank. He refuses to open the door, saying that there's a lockdown for 3 months. When the humans get completely frustrated, the robot starts laughing and finally opens the door. After several days of imprisonment, Francois heads back home, while Max and Leo also get in their car to leave. Much to Victor's shock, Jennifer impulsively decides to accompany Max, leaving him behind. Moments before they all depart, more Onyx robots arrive to menace Alice, Victor, Nina, and Francois. Seeing this, Leo jumps out of the car to stay with his beloved Nina, while Max and Jennifer drive off. As the Onyx are on the verge of attacking the humans, numerous executioner drones show up and start destroying the assailants one after another. Later, a news report explains that while trying to upload Alice's photo to the database for elimination, a Onyx robot accidentally uploaded a picture of his own face. As a result of this, they were all destroyed by their own executioner drones. With the threat finally neutralized, Victor, Alice, Nina, and Leo start living together as a new family. The movie ends as Leo helps Nina repair Tom, while Victor and Alice jointly decide to fix their marriage to live happily ever after. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.